Kosmos482 Out-of-control Russian spacecraft probably just fell to Earth. Experts say it seems likely that a Russian spacecraft has just crashed into Earth after it started to spin out of control earlier this week. Experts say that the tumbling spacecraft known as Kosmos482 lost altitude and re-entered the atmosphere on Friday, February, but it's not clear if it survived the journey or if it landed safely. According to the U.S. Space Force, the rocket lifted off from Plesetsk, which is a Russian space base that's north of Moscow. The Independent reports that the rocket was probably carrying a satellite into low Earth orbit, but the mission failed. Jonathan McDowell, an astronomer at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center, told the Independent that the rocket lost altitude and re-entered the atmosphere on Friday. He said it's likely that it broke up during the process. But Jonathan added that not all the pieces will have survived and that some may have landed in remote areas of Siberia. The rocket was first launched into space in December 2022, but it appears to have suffered an anomaly this week that caused it to spin out of control. Jonathan explained that the rocket had been in a 63-degree orbit and was probably struck by a piece of debris in the last few days. This caused the rocket to lose altitude and eventually it came back into the Earth's atmosphere. He said the rocket probably broke up during the process, but not all of the pieces will have survived and some may have landed in remote areas of Siberia. Jonathan added that it's impossible to know exactly what will happen because these are very complex machines that are spinning at high speeds. Another astronomer, Bill Gray, tweeted that the object was probably already in a decaying orbit, and that it could have been in the process of re-entering the atmosphere when the Russians lost control of it. He also claimed that most of the objects in the rocket will have burned up in the atmosphere. This isn't the first time that Russia has lost control of a spacecraft. In 2016, a Russian Progress cargo ship lost altitude and crashed into the Earth's atmosphere. But unlike Kosmos482, the Progress had no hazardous materials on board, so there was no risk to life or the environment. But this latest incident does come at a delicate time for Russia's space program. Just last month, a Soyuz rocket exploded seconds after takeoff, destroying a prototype Angara rocket on the launch pad. And in December, an uncrewed Soyuz rocket was launched into space carrying a military satellite. But soon after takeoff, Russia lost control of the rocket. It then performed an automated maneuver to avoid the rocket and protect the International Space Station. If you enjoyed this video, check out my others for the latest news in space.